Well, hold on to your seat for a real special treat. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at PowerWash Simulator 2. Yeah, recently they invited me to a little event to play a couple of the missions from this game coming out sometime later this year, and it's quite fun, honestly, and I'm looking forward to co-op with all the new tools, new locations, new storyline, and of course, more customization options of owning our own little, PowerWash shop. Like, we get to make our own store and decorate it with all the extra money that we get from jobs. Now, first and foremost, I'm showing you a little mission here of cleaning a billboard that allows us to have like a gondola or like a chair system to be able to swing around the billboard and be able to spray and use soap and other things like that. So that's all new, and it honestly, in the hour and a half about that I played, I want to play more, and PowerWash Simulator is quite an addicting game that has spawned a lot of other games that try to do the same with like lawn mowing simulator, leaf blowing simulator. These games are kind of just fun to be able to clean up all these things and be a perfectionist and try to get every little bit of dirt and grime. When I played the original game a few years ago, people were like, "You're insane. Nobody would want to play something like this." But honestly, it's a lot of fun to do with friends, and I hope in this game mode, or in this new game, we get a mode to just do whatever job we want with a certain high number of people. But showing off the foam here right away, the soap, it's going to be a great thing for those of you who really want to clean quick, and it almost feels like a cheat mode. But remember, you've got to buy that soap, and we have a whole plethora of different types of power washers and nozzles to be able to get the extendo in, be able to reach faraway places or do close range, and then all the different nozzles for that tough to remove grease and grime and dirt and whatever else. So I think these locations so far are exactly what I'd expect from this game too. It feels like playing a DLC, but then also a new game because of all the new stuff that we have. And honestly, if they had chosen to continue to make DLCs for this game, I'd still be interested in it, but I also think that at a certain point, it's a good idea to start from scratch and honestly say, hey, we're making a whole new game, so that way there's a whole new, standard for all the things that they can deliver upon and features that maybe were impossible in the first game. Now, there's been a lot of DLCs for the old game as well, everything from SpongeBob to Final Fantasy to hell, I even think Warhammer 40k, and it was nice to be able to a la carte that stuff, to be able to buy things from franchises that you were interested in from previous game or other titles and be able to play it in this game. Is really cool when there's crossovers in games. You see it in Dave the Diver, this game, and even in Call of Duty and Battlefield and Fortnite all have characters and skins from other games. Those are not really my cup of tea, but I've got to say I really like what they've been adding to this game, at least in terms of the new customization options, equipment, and all the ways to be able to clean, and it really makes me want to get the perfect time lapse, and it's good. Now, tomorrow I'm going to show you a little bit more from this game. There's a couple of missions I wanted to show off that were really great, and I'll talk over those as well, and provide some commentary on my thoughts on the game as we play. Today it's just going to be showing off some of the new features, some of the new locations, and the overall vibe of the game, which is great. They've done a good job of just kind of keeping it the same, yet also different, and adding more to it. They really didn't reinvent the wheel here. They kind of just perfected it a little bit more, and I'm already immediately interested in seeing what everybody's thoughts are on day one when it comes out, and then of course what everybody thinks when they get a chance to play multiplayer and go through all the missions. And of course the overall grind is really fun too. They started us here with a profile that had a little bit of money and already some equipment, and I was kind of, one, remembering how to play the game because it had been a while, and then two, trying to find out what really was different between all the different pieces of equipment. I'm goofing around here. I'm testing, right? We're not necessarily playing the game. We're kind of just trying to see what's possible, what we can do, what we can't do, and what might be new. And honestly, overall, I know there's a story to this game. Some of the people we played with know the story, and there's a whole backstory to the first game that explains like a volcano, and there's all these random shenanigans going on. But honestly, for me, it's just a very fun and peaceful game to be able to just work with friends to clean up like a boat in the first game. And so I'm really hoping for more big jobs in the new game. Obviously, they jump from things like a small vehicle to a medium-sized vehicle to a whole house, and that's present in the second game as well. So really looking forward to other locations that they have. But I've got to say, my only complaint from playing this so far is the worlds really seem like abandoned and dead. You never see anybody walking around. There's never any cars. The game may explain it through lore or whatnot, but it would be nice to see, especially here on the highway where we have a billboard that we're cleaning, to see some cars coming up and down the road to make it seem like when we're done with this job, people will actually see what we've done and what we've cleaned. And so House Flipper and House Flipper 2 are like that, where they have a beautiful neighborhood, a beautiful environment, and never anybody. You never see anybody. There's never a neighbor. There's never like a dog in the next door backyard, or even the mailman driving down the street, or somebody delivering things from UPS or something. So I really hope to see some more life into this game, because it just feels so lonely. It's very cozy, but maybe having a toggle for people to be able to turn on and off a living world would be nice. It's always nice, I think, in simulator games when you get to see an environment around you. It makes it feel like you're working an actual job, and that what you do matters and is different. Here's a little bit of footage from another job. We'll be cleaning interiors and exteriors. Some allow us to, kind of progress in a way where you clean the outside of a building and then the inside opens up. And so there's a lot of quote-unquote secrets, or a little bit of procedure to this game too, where it's not just cut and dry of here's a car, clean it, and here's money. There very much is that, and those are present in the game, those types of missions, but and also they're really good for replayability and going back and trying to earn money from the same mission over and over and over again. And so I think this game will absolutely have a lot of great things for those of you wanting to go to different locations, and then also great things to return to if you didn't get a chance in previous games. Recently I also played like a spray painting simulator game that was quite fun, and it always comes back to PowerWash Simulator. I think this is the game that immediately started the genre of these kind of more playful and cozy simulators. You have more serious ones like American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator. You have, of course, Flight Sim, and industries use some of these simulators for almost, borderline realistic training and things like that. Or at least enthusiasts can learn a lot before they go and take actual tests and become interested in the industry or get their own private pilot license or whatever. Here, there's got to be these games, House Flipper, PowerWash Sim, that have inspired people to start their own businesses, and that's beautiful. People quitting their jobs and following a dream and being like, you know what, I'm really good at painting. My cousin and me, we've got a truck and some equipment. Let's get started. And that's beautiful. Like you want people to be interested in landscaping and painting, and it is very much hard work, and it is very much a serious thing to have to think about paying, bills with invoicing equipment. You have to get like an accountant and register as a business with the federal government and whatnot. But it is very cool, though, at least to be motivated to do something for yourself. And so these games, I don't think, are people not wanting to work or being lazy, but honestly trying to go to do something else that you may have never had the chance to do before. You could drive forklifts all your life and then eventually want to become an electrician and play a game on it, or do power washing or something like that, and vice versa. I know there's a lot of great people who watch who are forklift certified, or they know a lot of the laws for OSHA and other things like that, and know about contracting and about gray beams and Simpson straps, and having a nailing schedule and slab on grades and all that other thing. All the lingo, you know it. If you know it, then you know for sure. And so I think it's interesting to get people interested in careers that maybe just because you've been doing something for 10 or 15 years doesn't mean you can't change. And I really hope for the older audience with games like this, they're able to connect with their children or their grandchildren, or be able to learn something new that they hadn't in a non-threatening, high-paced environment. Just to sit back and try to do this thing they've never done before. These games are certainly absolutely 110% able to appeal to all audiences from 1 to 100, that kind of thing. And it's good to see that and to say that, because I think the best thing about this game so far that I've seen is that things are quite cut and dry, for lack of a better term. Maybe very wet in this game, but yeah, you kind of understand the concept within the first 10 minutes of, oh, okay, there's different levels of grime, and I can clean a little bit better with soap or with different nozzles. Oh, I can save up my money to buy better equipment, and there's way more things to buy now, and it's really satisfying. We only played a preview version of the game too, so everything you see here is not really final. Glitches and missing content and other things will be added later on. So I'm really looking forward to what will be different between this version that I played and the release version a little later this year. And of course, what will come for DLCs and what will come for new locations. Hell, there was even like a Back to the Future location. So I hope we get to see things like that. Maybe some bigger franchises like Mario, Donkey Kong. There's a whole new Nintendo system out there, so they may have something like a Mario Kart in here. Anything's possible at any time, and that's what makes this game really approachable and almost irresistible to come back to. And I honestly want to come back more and more. I can even remember from the first game, a Lara Croft crossover, when they, I think, made some new movies or game. I think it was a new movie, but yeah. So there's a ton of room for this game to be able to pull from other franchises. There's a great amount of room for everybody to be able to learn at their own pace or to try to be a perfectionist and get that beautiful looking time-lapse screenshot at the end where it shows you all the things that you've done. And yeah, overall, I've got to say I'm very interested in playing a lot more of this. I hope the developers come out with a demo that allows for players to play a mission or two. And I think for anybody saying, you know, it's basically, you know, maybe a reskin. No, not that. But anybody just saying, oh, it's too similar to the first, I think that is the point. I think it is definitely supposed to be more of the same. And sometimes that's not bad. Recently been playing a lot of Grounded 2 on the channel, that open world survival game where you're in the backyard with bugs and such in the first game, and now you're in a park in the second game. And the developers of Grounded didn't really make a lot of changes to that game. At the same time, they really did make a lot of changes to that game. And so things like weapon crafting recipes and the kids' voice lines and you know, how blocking and parrying works and how base building works is somewhat similar, and a lot of the things look the same. Oh, look, a pet the kitty. You could bet the kitty in this game, Game of the Year. But anyway, I think there needs to be a lot of familiarity for players, and I really hope that, you know, for players who are getting into this game for the first time, that they really enjoy all the things that have been changed from the first game. If they're a veteran, if they played before, I hope they appreciate all the things that have changed, and then all the new things maybe that we know that they don't know that are there. Like, for example, you'll see a Steam thing here in a little bit, but I really like how the dirt and grime looks too. Although I will say the only thing missing is I don't like when I hit tab, it kind of tells you what something is or kind of where it is, but it doesn't do that orange highlight. I know so many other games have it where you can like hit tab and like maybe House Flipper, you name it. If you missed a spot, they'll basically highlight it for you, make it abundantly clear that, oh, there's a little spot over here that you missed, which makes it nice. But in this game, you still very much have to find it. It'll say, like, you know, one wheel well is still dirty, and so it'll mark the wheel, which is good, but then you still got to go in there and, like, kind of just spray it full blast to just try to find out what exactly has been, you know, like, needing to be clean, like what you missed. And sometimes it's kind of fun to go back towards the end and figure out what you missed. Or, honestly, I get bored with certain things in this game, so the way I still have fun with it, it is very fun. But if I've got to just clean like the side of one part of a truck, I get bored of that. I want to do like maybe 50 to 75% of one side of the truck, then go inside, then go back to the other side, then underneath, and then back to where I was at the very beginning. And so I hope to continue to see missions where we get to go outside of a house and then the door opens and then we get to do the inside. So there's some incentive to do almost like a marathon of cleaning. And, you know, it's also the type of game where you can save and come back, and so you're not going to lose progress. And that was something they figured out long ago. This here is Jessica's Antiques and Collectibles. Is that some sort of lore from the first game? Is that going to be something we see new in the new game? For those of you who really like the lore, I think those parts are still here. I think we're still going to be able to get like little messages as we play. They may have not had it in this version at the moment, but we have, of course, new characters in the game. We have, I think the cat's names like Bubble and Squeak and Pop or something like that. I forget all their names. Ulysses, I think, is one of them. You can pet them all, and they're always present. And also, when I was playing this, they were quite annoying. They don't stop purring no matter what. Maybe that's just orange cat energy. I don't know. But you can literally hear the cat purring over the power washer sometimes. And it's like, is that cat ever going to calm down? Maybe it'd be nice if they purr a little bit after you pet them for the first time. But I don't know if there's some sort of bonus where each time that you play a mission, you go and pet the cat, and then you get some extra, I don't know, XP or money for that. Like, they're not too hard to find. One of them is on the left side of the screen now on that little stone bench, and I think another one is on the right side in the flowers. So they're always present, and you can go pet them if you need a little break. But yeah, it's not really that big of a deal, but I think it could be something to turn down in the settings, either the cat volume or the frequency of meowing. I don't know, something like that. But again, very satisfying to clean the outside and the inside of a vehicle. And then I always think to myself, how did these vehicles get so dirty, and why are they asking? It almost as if every single thing in this game gets loaded onto a crane, lowered into a massive pool of mud, then they like bring it back out and then load it onto a truck and drop it off for you to clean. Like, that's what it seems every time. But if you only had to clean like the side of it, like the back end of a truck, because it's a little dirty, it'd be a very quick mission. So it wouldn't be as fun if you weren't able to clean everything. Look at the little smiley face up there. Isn't that nice? On the back of the truck, somebody drew one. Yeah. I tried to draw my own, and it turned out okay. And then I just tried to hide the evidence and clean everything up. It's fine. So yeah, and by the way, to the right there is our actual HQ. So some missions take place out in front of your like HQ, and you could build inside there, but you can't really see inside. Maybe we're behind the building, but I think, honestly, personally, if we're going to be working out in front of our shop and we can look into our shop and see all the cool things we've decorated with, like rugs and coffee tables, it's almost like your shop is like a car dealership. You know how car dealerships are kind of quote-unquote decorated? A couple potted plants, a couple round tables, maybe a couch, a sofa, you know, like a love seat with maybe like a little end table with magazines on it, that sort of thing. That's pretty much it, right? Like that's all you're looking for, I think, in this game. Maybe there's some other things that we can get later, like trophies and hidden collectibles. Now, that would be a good motivator, but and you can see some of the equipment here up for sale. More things are customizable for painting your, and I think giving skins to your equipment. I think it'll be a little bit more easy to be able to paint something a certain color or with a certain texture and make it look real nice. So there's an example of some of those things there for the different types of equipment. Again, I don't think everything's unlocked. I don't think everything's installed here. This is just a preview version. And the same goes for the vehicles and the skins or your outfits. So that's all cool with me. One of the things here that you saw before, this is like an outdoor toilet. And I'm testing out like the different types of nozzles and like water pressure to see how satisfying that is, or what the vibe is, how realistic that feels, you know, like hitting something with soap versus high pressure versus like low pressure. That's actually quite satisfying. And now there's this round thing too. We'll maybe see this in a little bit. Maybe you saw it before. It's like a yellow, almost like a Roomba, but it's like a heavy steamer that can get rid of almost anything. It's again almost like a cheat mode. That thing and also the soap are really powerful. But if you're losing your patience or whatever, if you want to do it meticulously at the start and then you're like, oh, I just want this job done, then you could do it that way. We got a scissor lift this time too. I don't know if that was in the previous game, but it seemed to be new to me, as well as that seat. That also seemed very new. I hadn't seen that before. So good stuff overall, I think. And also the ability to jump like you're on the moon. Your character very much has like zero gravity. I always find that to be quite funny. This map here has a weird beam going through it too. Might be a reference from the previous game. I remember something with like a pyramid of Atlantis or whatnot. I don't. All the lore is blurry to me, but you know what would be great with this game? I was just thinking around the base of the house. It looks like there's almost like leaves there, and I think instead of it just being a power wash where you're cleaning up grime, it would have been nice if we also got to blow some leaves away, or even use like a multitude of tools. Like, it's called Power Wash Simulator, but it would also be cool if we were able to use other tools, like you know, getting leaves out of gutters by using maybe, I don't know, a shovel or something like that. You could probably do it with a power washer, but I'm just saying that it would be nice to be able to use different equipment other than just the power wash thing. Maybe a leaf blower. I don't know. Cleaning up is very fun in this game, and to do it where you don't have to really move anything around, you don't have to move any furniture like in House Flipper or in, what is it, Hometopia, or what the hell's that game? I don't know. Contractville, that one, yeah. So, I don't know. Those games are very fun to play too, but this one is, again, I think the one that really started getting everybody's attention for this type of a genre, and I just hope to continue to see more of it. Beautiful, vibrant door. That looks really nice. This is I think a tea shop or something like that, or an inn. No, it's a modern house. It's an Art Deco, like, modern house. There is like an inn and I think a hotel and other things that we can clean. But as you can imagine, we'd be doing small or medium-sized commercial buildings, residential buildings, cars, and billboards. So that's cool. It's kind of a commercial structure. Hope we get an option to clean like a bridge. I hope we get to do like a boat. Again, maybe get some construction equipment, which would be great. And I'm all locked in to see what the devs have next. They've got my full attention here. Spraying over the mail slot too is kind of funny. Nothing happens, but it just makes me think like, But and again, I don't think we cause any damage in this game. If you use a pressure washer on a window in this game, it's not going to break it, and you don't have to pay anything. So again, it's kind of more leaning towards the whole like, hey, we want to give you a lot to do, but we don't want you to stress out about doing it. So it's going to be very much that type of a game again, and I'm all for that. 100%. Now, the game is available for Wishlisting, I think, already on Steam. I don't know if there's a pre-order or pre-order bonus, and if it was, this would be the type of game to get, like, you'd probably get the soundtrack or something like that, but again, there's, like, no real music here, so it'd be like a concept art book and the soundtrack if they do that, but I don't think that'll be the case, but Yeah, I'm not seeing anything crazy from these guys, and I also don't even know a price point. But I just think this is the type of game where if you're in, you know it immediately, and you should get excited for it. And if you're on the fence, then I don't know, maybe play the first game, but maybe it's not your cup of tea, and that's totally fine. But this game will be very fun in multiplayer. I believe in the first game, some of the biggest jobs we did were like a subway station underground, like a metro, and also a skate park, which I did with my friends. Those were some of the biggest jobs that we did, as well as like the clock tower from Back to the Future. So we'll have to see in multiplayer how big the jobs will get. I hope the developers are thinking about much bigger jobs now because they have easier ways to clean, like the soap, and you can see how satisfying it is to just spray things with the soap and then come back over and spray it again. So there's certainly a lot of potential here for it to be a charming game. I think it's one that you should keep an eye on. And if you're all down with the, if you're down to clown with all the different types of simulators you've seen here on the channel, like for example, farming simulator, or even spray paint simulator, this is definitely one you should add to your wish list and give it a try for yourself. There's lots of stuff to do, and I've only played like maybe 5 missions, and I can already tell that within these missions, especially here at this campground, that once you get this bungalow done, yeah, then you got a fire pit to do, you've got like tents, and some of the jobs like have medium to small size things to toy around with, and you can do them in fairly any order, I think. And I'm not sure yet. I can't think of this off the top of my head, but I do believe you're allowed to leave a mission mid-mission and come back later. You don't have to necessarily complete it, and I think you do get paid per segment. So if you do half a job and get bored of it and you leave and you want to go back to your HQ to buy stuff, including equipment and also decorations, then you come back right after and pick up where you left off. And that, don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, but if that is done that way, which I believe it is, that's good. Like, I think this is kind of a game where you I can get exhausted pretty easily from the repetitive side of this game, but they still somehow manage to make it fun with all the things there is to do, and yet it's all the same things. You know what I mean? It's pretty impressive. So overall, I'd say this is a game that I definitely want to play more. This is definitely a game that I'm glad I played the original. I'm glad it popped off and exploded. Everybody thought I was insane. I was like one of the first people to play PowerWash Simulator on the channel, and everyone was like, dude, no one's going to play this. And then all the big boys played it, and I was glad that they enjoyed it too, because it was like, wait, this is just pure fun. Like, it doesn't matter what I say. This is just satisfying. Tons of people are going to like this. So I hope this game continues to spawn all sorts of other predecessor-like games that you often see from like Playway, where they're like parking lot simulator and like a fast food restaurant simulator and like car dealership simulator. It's good. I think this game really opened the door for a lot of that stuff. There's been games before it, and there's been certainly games after it, but I also think in a weird way that this game is somewhat related to like Supermarket Simulator, which also in a weird way to me is related to Schedule 1. The game where you're dealing all sorts of pizza toppings to people in the town who love crazy pizza toppings, if you know what I mean. But even though they're completely different genres, again, it's still pretty fun to be able to kind of create a brand and do it however you want to. I hope there's more customization options in this game in the future for creating our own logos and our own color schemes. It seems like this game really much likes, very much likes blue and white with a little bit of orange as well. Actually, that's the channel colors, which makes this game Game of the Year. Great. Probably won't be that, but it'll certainly be a good one. And everybody seemed to be excited when we talked about its announcement, or when they announced it. So anyway, I'll be bringing more gameplay footage to you as soon as I can on the channel. So as always, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell and hit that like button so I can show you more of PowerWash Simulator 2. And let me know, by the way, I'm in down below in the comments section. If we get any more keys to this game to give away between now and the end of the year after its release, I will definitely dump them to all of you in our chat when we live stream. And many of you also watch the channel on a daily basis, but don't actually sub. So make sure you do that and turn on that notification bell too, because I don't want you missing out on any of the fun. If you don't want to watch a video, that's fine, but if you don't sub, you'll never know it exists. So it's a good idea to do that. So just wanted to leave you with some final thoughts here. One, it seems like more of the same, and that's a good thing. Two, there's definitely enough new equipment to lock me in to want to see more of this game, but I'll still have to report back on really what if it's worth it when we see a price point and when we see more additional like gameplay and other features. This game does have a few small things that are annoying, like there's like no real soundtrack here. There's no way to like stop the cats from meowing, and there's really nobody around at all. Like at a campsite, that makes sense, right? Maybe it would be cool to see a deer walking in the background or something like that. But yeah, on the city streets and suburbs, there's like nothing. You got no car noise. It's just birds and wind. So it feels very empty and very sad sometimes. And I'm sure they'll explain it away with a story, and some of you may know that, but honestly, I don't know. I just want to feel like I'm in a world making a difference and doing something cool, even if they are NPCs, and doing it with friends. And I'm a big, really like a cheerleader for that. I want to be able to see more of that in these types of games, and I hope to continue to see you all back here to watch them. So, again, thanks very much, everybody, for tuning into the channel. Thank you very much for hanging out. And let me know your thoughts on PowerWash Simulator as a whole. Do you love these types of job simulators? Are there too many? And if there's not enough of them, what other games would you like to see in this type of genre? Let me know down below, and I want to definitely interact with you and chat about things that possibly could be coming to the future in this game, and also what other games you think would be great here on the channel that are quote-unquote simulators. So anyway, that's all my time for today. That's all I wanted to share, and I just wanted to thank you all again for watching, and knowing that I went to a quote-unquote live event. The developers again invited me out. We played a preview version, and that was pretty much it. Played about an hour and a half. Yeah, it was about like an hour and 45 minutes. But there was a little bit of a preview video from them kind of showing off some things we can't quite talk about yet. But there will be more things to show you in the future, by the way. Base building and more of the UI and the map and other jobs will be coming soon. We were only able to play a little snippets, so I hope you enjoyed. All right, thanks again, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, and goodbye.